Hi everyone. So I have a big haul for you today. Some of this stuff I've had for quite a while, but I realized I had never really formally talked about it in any video. Maybe I've been wearing it in a video, or maybe I've mentioned it, but I haven't really gone over these things. And some things I've just been using and wearing, but maybe showed up in a face of the day on Instagram, but I haven't told you guys about it. So I'm just gonna get started. It's a lot of things just because it's some things I've had for a really long, not a really long time, but probably a couple months at least. So there's a lot of stuff. So since I'm not wearing any blush or lip product, I think I'm gonna do those first. I've been wanting a good shimmery blush for quite a while now and just never really found one that kind of fit the bill. And so I was in Walmart for some reason, and because Walmart's not one of the places I go regularly, I go to Walgreens and Target every week for groceries, and Walgreens once a month for a prescription. But Walmart, it's usually because I need something that I can get there or whatever. I just don't go to Walmart very often. Oh my gosh, if this is how this video is going to be, it's going to take 3 days. Anyway, so I got some hard candy stuff. So I got this Glow All The Way Hard Candy Baked Blush, the Ombre Baked Blush. And this one is in Punch. There is another one that has a much darker color over here. But this one, if you swirl all together, it's quite a light pink and it's very shimmery. And then there's just the highlight side, and here is the blush side. Now that I'm swatching this, I feel like I have talked about this in a video. Have I? I don't know. Very pretty. Oh, you know what? I did talk about it in my favorites. Oh my gosh. Hard Candy, Baked Blush, and Honeymoon. And this one's a little more peachy. I feel like this had like a layer of really light shimmer on the top of it because it seemed almost like white. It didn't seem very peachy when I first got it. But it is, even getting through that first layer, it's still quite light. And my most recent purchase is this beautiful package. This is the Sonia Kashuk Arabian Dreams Sahara Sunset Highlighter. But it is definitely a blush for, I would say, even medium skin tones. So obviously light or fair skin tones, it's also going to be a blush. And almost a bronzer. If you can see here, there is a lot of powder. This one, you really have to be very kind of delicate to not get way too much product. So it's even a little tricky to swatch. So let's see. Oh, I keep meaning to use this on my eyes and I keep forgetting. So that's like the different quadrants. This is down the middle and I think these are down the sides. I surely did not need to do twice the same thing. Huh. Crazy, crazy. So it's very, if you include the sides, it's very orange and kind of copper. The center is a little bit more, like if you go just for that like coin in the middle, then it's kind of a peachy bronze. That one is just the center. So this is the one I'm gonna wear on my cheeks, if I can find a brush, and I'm going to use my MAC 188, and I'm just going to kind of dab very lightly, and then can you see how much product is on there? Holy moly. And then I'm just gonna like bang it off, and it will like deposit a good amount of color on my hand when I do that. Whoa, this is so loose. So I don't know where to look. So I'm gonna put this a little bit on my cheeks and then kind of pull it back, almost like a little bit of a bronzing blush, perhaps. So it's very pretty, but it is very strong. And like I mentioned, I definitely want to try this on my eyes because I think it would be quite lovely on the eyes. and it's certainly pigmented enough for eye usage. Next up, I'm going to do lips. Hopefully my lip combo won't be too crazy. So I was in Ulta and I had a 350 off 10 and I was using it for something specific. It's funny. I don't know what else I use this on. Something that I should have here. Okay, now I remembered. So I was at Ulta for something specific that I'm going to mention in a second, but I was scheming to use my 350 off 10 coupon, and I was kind of looking for a purple matte lipstick and just was striking out anything that I was thinking about buying they didn't have. So, drugstore obviously. So I ended up looking at the NYX lip liners. I had thought I was going to buy Pinky Beige. I had looked at that one online, I think, and determined that that was something I wanted. But when I got in the store and I saw it, it was really light, and I realized I don't really want super light pink liner. So I ended up getting Vanilla Sky, which I have, when looking for information about the Pinky Beige, had run into this one quite a few times, and I thought it was going to be quite dark, but it's actually not that dark. It's, I would say, lighter than a lot of like natural lip liners, which tend to be really dark on me. And it's quite kind of a tawny tan. It's similar to my beloved Rimmel Exaggerate liner, lip liner in Innocent, which is also really similar to the Maybelline Creamy Matte in Nude Embrace. Anyway, let's get this on. So you can see it's a little dark, but not too dark. Yeah. And the formula is nice. The thing I don't like about that Rimmel liner is it's so sticky. I think it lasts longer, but if I fill in a good amount of my lips, like, they really stick together. And that kind of bugs me. So I got this. I've been enjoying it. I would recommend it. Another thing I got, not at Ulta, is this package is not looking good. This Jordana Modern Matte Lipstick in Matte Frappucino. And I thought that would be like a trademarked word, because I called it cappuccino. Because I figured. But no, it's actually Frappuccino. There we go. So that's kind of like a very warm brown. I've tried to wear this quite a few times. I don't think it really works on my skin tone, but I keep trying. I keep thinking, well, if I can pick the right makeup to wear it with, maybe it'll look right. We'll see. Because what I'm wearing is pretty neutral. Got the kind of bronzy peach cheeks. I heard a lot of really bad reviews of this formula. It's not as bad as I was expecting. It is kind of dry. I would say it applies kind of dryly. But on the lips, I feel like it feels quite similar to a lot of the newer matte lipsticks. If your lips are really dry, it can be difficult to apply. But it's not as bad as I heard, like the Muse, Musings of a Muse. On her blog, when she reviewed them, she said that it was just like painful to even apply them. So yeah, mine has not been that bad. So I don't know. What do you think? I feel like maybe it's too close to the like color of my freckles or something. There's something about it that just puts me off. I don't know. Another lip product that I've gotten maybe a month ago or so was this NYX Butter Gloss in Creme Brulee. Is this Creme Brulee? Yeah. I got this because the butter glosses were on sale with Target at some point, and it's easier for me to buy it at Target than at Ulta. So I just, even though I can probably usually work a better deal at Ulta, with that 350 off 10, it requires a lot more effort, separate chip. So I got this. And I think I'm going to take this lip color off because it's really kind of bugging me here. Something I picked up at Walgreens. This is the Fergie Wet n Wild Pagan Angel. So this is a black, it's shimmery, it's kind of sheer. It's a little bit, I got this not to wear as a black, but just to mix with other things, like mixing with a really light mauve kind of color to give more of a taupe. That's what I got it for. So just for mixing. And I'm still working on getting a finish that I like in that, but I do feel like it's kind of useful to have a quite cheap black lipstick just for mixing to have around. I think maybe I'll wear this one because it's so pretty. Another thing I got from Target recently with that Sonia Kashuk blush highlighter is this Velvety Matte Lip Crayon, and it's in Poppy Nude. Calling this color any variety of nude is kind of ridiculous. I was looking for an orange. This is kind of teetering on the edge between orange and red. I didn't want something that was like pink, and they have one that's more of a coral color, but it's not like a coral orange, it's more like a coral pink. So I wasn't super interested in that. So I went ahead and got this one, and it's very pretty. So I'll just apply this. One kind of downside is that I think it's a sharpening pencil type, which I'm not a fan of when it's a lipstick. And these, you can see they have really good pigmentation, and it's a really kind of thin texture as compared to like the Maybelline Creamy Mattes and the Moisture Matte from Milani. So it feels like it's not going to move around. But it has a very similar kind of dry, powdery feel that some of them have on the lips. But like if you press them together, it feels like there's still a little moisture there. So I didn't find it to be terribly drying when wearing. But I feel like this one really goes on as a true matte as opposed to some of the other more modern matte formulas. Some of the other recent matte formulas that are out right now, which go on kind of semi-matte and then dry down to a more matte finish over time. So another one that I picked up is this matte Glam from the Milani Moisture Matte. It looks very purple, but it's definitely, it goes on a little more pink than purple. And so since I was really looking for a true purple, deep purple lipstick, when I was placing an order with MAC through their site, maccosmetics.com, I picked up this smoked purple, which is a pro color, which you can buy online now, which is nice. And it is a matte. You'll see it's a different undertone. It's not very pink. It's more of a plum, and it's obviously a lot darker. So I actually like combining those two. Clean off my hand here. Show you what I mean. Because I feel like wearing that just alone with my skin tone, it can look a little bit more like black than purple. So just putting over a little bit of the matte Glam from Milani makes it a little less harsh looking and kind of gives it a little bit more warmth. So there it is alone, where you can see it's more of that like reddish plummy undertone, and then I put the matte Glam on top of it. It just looks a little bit more, it still has the darkness and the purple, but it has a little bit more pink to it, and I think that's a little bit easier for me to wear. So that is all of the lipstick. And I'm gonna actually take this off because I have some eyeliners that I want to swatch. And then, oh my goodness, we are getting to the end, I promise. Sorta, kinda. Okay. So while I was in Walgreens, I saw these when I was doing my January no buy and did not pick them up. But when I saw them again, I couldn't resist. It was the Jordana cat eye liner. And so these tubes are what the product actually looks like. They are clear. So that can be kind of nice to know, because the kind of product, the marketing pictures for these makes it look a lot more darker, more like a navy. So this is Twilight, and they have a brush tip applicator, which I find a little tricky to use compared to a felt tip, but it's, you know, I can do it. But I'm not doing winged liner, of course, because winged liner on my eyes is just really, really tricky. So I would not want, especially would not want to use something like this for it. So I got the light green, which is called Envy, and also black brown. So those are swatches. So that black brown is very dark, kind of a cool brown. The Twilight here is a very bright blue, and the green is a kind of pretty lime spring green. Very nice for kind of like a little bit on the kind of inner part of your lash line, lid, something. Oh, also when I was at Walmart, I picked up this, since I really want a navy liner, I picked up the Stroke of Gorgeous felt tip hard candy liner in the navy, I think it's called. Yep. And I have used this a fair amount and I like it. See that one? And that's the felt tip. I feel like it's quite easy to use and I like the color. It's very identifiable as blue on your lids. It's decently pigmented. They had this in a clearance area at Walgreens. It's the Jordana Fabuliner in brown, and this has really been also something I've been enjoying. It's got a little bit chunkier of a felt tip applicator. I don't know if this has been discontinued. I think I looked it up online and it's not. So it's also another kind of cool brown, but it doesn't look black on the lids, so I appreciate that. And this one feels like it's rattling around. I also picked up the Milani Brow Tint pen in dark brown, which you would think that it's really dark, but it really is not all that dark. So I've been enjoying using that in my brows. If I really take my time and put in a lot of kind of hair-like strokes, I feel like it can be really natural looking. Whew. Okay. Last things. I have a little small eye palette and then some face stuff and then I'll be done. Essence All About Candies palette. So if you know, I have a thing for mint eyeshadow and it's a little bit hard to find. So I have the Wet n Wild limited edition vegan culture palette and I have a look and review of that and also a blog post about that. So I'll link that stuff below. And so I saw this, I'm like, oh, it's another minty color from the drugstore. So I would say that this has the similar issue that the Wet n Wild does, in that it fades quite a lot and you do need some sort of base underneath it. But I like the other colors that come with this one a little bit more than the other colors that come with the Vegan Culture palette. So if you're looking for a palette of kind of iridescent pastels, I think this might be a good one for you. I think the pinks and purples kind of tend to look, and the peach look somewhat similar on the lids, but this blue is really pretty. I wore that kind of alone on the lids the other day and that was really pretty. So you can see these are quite sheer. These really can use a base or definitely a primer. They do not swatch nicely. I haven't really used that light yellow. I've got to try that out because it looks kind of, it looks like it almost has like a gold flash with a more pale yellow base. Really pretty. Okay, so the blue and the peach. So, I mean, they come off on the fingers really nicely. It's just the transferring to the skin part that's a little tricky. So you can see the blue one Looks a little more iridescent. Let's see. Those liquid liners, by the way, they, I feel like in the navy, that blue liner does leave a little bit of a stain. And like the next day I'll see a little bit. I feel like I can clean that up, but oh gracious. But it does seem a little stained. Now it looks like I have a weird bruise on my hand. This is just a hot mess here. Okay. There we go. That looks a little better. You can see that peach and the blue right there. And they're probably showing up a little bit better because my hand is wet from trying to clean it off. I wonder if you can use these wet. I haven't thought about that. So that's a fun little palette. It's very affordable and they carry it in store at Ulta, so that's nice. So you can use your $3.50 off 10 coupons to get a really good deal on that if you have something else you want to buy. Okay, oh no, I lied. There's one more, other random. This NYC nail polish this is their Quick Dry formula in Hampton's Peach. Ruth from A Model Recommends was talking about this Cyber Peach lip color, and I don't know where that name came from, if she just made it up or it came from something else, but whatever. This Cyber Peach got in my mind. It's just like this really strong, bold, kind of bright peach. And this nail polish, because that color doesn't look so great on my face, but I saw this in Target and thought the color looked really pretty, and it's a cream and it seems so appropriate for spring. And on my skin tone, I think it's, you know, it's bright enough and there's enough contrast there that it doesn't look like weird and sickly or make my hands look more red, or, you know, sometimes colors in this range of colors can look a little bit strange on my skin tone, but this one's really pretty. So I had that on my nails, but it chipped, so I had to take it off today. And I actually had some chips the first day, but one of my nails was peeling, so I can't really fault the polish for that. Last thing, finally. Oh, I've been talking about this for a while, that I was going to get it, and I got it. So this is the MAC Face and Body in C1, and this is in white. They sell the white online and in pro stores, and the closest pro store to me is Chicago, so that's not happening. So I did make this purchase online, and so this is the 4-ounce bottle and this is the 1.7 ounce. I could have gotten the big bottle of the C1 it's a much better value if you get the large bottles, but I do know that they have a tendency to turn quickly, so I will be keeping this in the fridge probably. What I would like to do is get a separate bottle where I can just mix some of these and put these in the fridge, and so I don't have to mix it every time, is what I'm trying to get to. So these have a very watery texture. You have to shake them up a lot, and they, the way they work is that you blend and blend and blend, and it seems like they kind of get a little bit drier from this very watery formula, and then all of a sudden they kind of grip, and they all of a sudden have a little bit more coverage, and they feel more like I don't know how to describe it other than grippy texture. And that is supposed to be, I think, what is the film forming agent that makes it waterproof. I believe that's what Lisa Eldridge explained in a video some time ago about this, or where she talked about this. It's really pretty on. So far I haven't found an awesome, like the best way to apply it. I'm still working on that. So once I figure out a really good way to apply that, I am going to make a video about it. I feel like now I can get it to work, but it takes a fair amount of effort. So I'm still kind of working to find the best way for me to use it that's not so slow. So I really like the way it looks though. In the saving money on makeup high-end video, I have that on, and I feel like it just has a beautiful finish. It really makes your skin look slightly more perfect. without being that like blurring kind of, it's just different. It's different. It has a much more dewy finish, but even once you put a little powder over it, I don't know, it's somewhat magical. So I really do enjoy that. So finally, I'm done. That is everything of this kind of collective haul that I picked up recently. Let me know if you've tried any of these products out and if you like them. I would love to hear about it. And if you've picked up anything fun recently, I would also love to hear that. So I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you soon.